guys, this is Lida, your bestie in freight, and while I am driving to my appointment, I want to share how I went from 10k a month freight broker to 100k a month freight broker. And I want this video to be an inspiration and motivation for people who are struggling, for freight brokers who are thinking that the market is bad and there is no freight going on, right? And everything is going down. The reality is, the secret of making 100k a month versus 10k a month is that you guys need to stay in the game for a long time. So this didn't happen overnight. It happened with hard work. I started, I think, my freight broker journey in 2021, right? So I have been in business already almost 5 years. 2026 May, I think it will be 5 years that I am doing freight brokering. So this summer I made few months consistently over 100k, and what I realized is that you have to stay in the game for a long time, and you have to maintain the customer. You have to build this relationship with the customer, so they give you opportunity when the project comes. So the story with this customer was, we started moving 1-2 freight, right? He gave me one load. Few times actually I couldn't move it, but he was kind enough, I was persistent enough, and he gave me another opportunity. So finally I moved a few lots, and he saw that I am, hardworking, and I am responsive. I'm trying my best, and of course providing best service possible. And he started giving me consistent freight. Then out of nowhere he gave me very big project, over 100 lots. I made it successful. I worked with another sister company that they had, right? We had some issues with invoicing. Of course there was other broker involved, and I had to be wise enough to still keep part of the project. But we made it work, and the profit was not as good on this project. It was like $150 per lot, but of course there was volume. After that, the customer went slow. They were not moving a lot of stuff. They have in-house trucks, right? They have their own trucks, and they only use freight brokers when their in-house trucks cannot move. So this is another lesson, that when they say, oh, we have in-house trucks, it doesn't mean that they don't or they will not need extra capacity when these type of big projects come, right? So then of course during these 4 or 5 years I stayed consistent with them. I was nice, I was very appreciative, and every New Year, Christmas, or whatever holidays, I try to show up, appreciate him, whether it is present, whether it is sending a lunch or pizza, right? Just being a human being and being yourself and genuine, right? They can feel if you are just robotic and like pretending. They know. Also, you have to connect with them as a person. So yes, long story short, this summer they gave me very, very big project, very big profitability. Of course, that was not the only customer that made me 100k, but it was a combination of 5-6 customers, but that was the biggest project that I got. So what I'm trying to get into through this video is that you have to stay in the game long enough that you get the opportunities, and of course staying visible, staying connected. Of course I did a few mistakes that I think every freight broker makes. When you get very busy with the customer base you have, instead of hiring and instead of trying to keep pushing for sales, keep bringing more customers, you just focus on the customers you have, and That was a big lesson learned, that I lost one customer, very big customer. One of my customers got bankruptcy, I think, and went out of business. So there was a lot of lessons I learned during these 4 or 5 years as a freight broker. But the biggest lesson is, I would say, never stop prospecting, right? When you have to cover loads and you also need to prospect, it's very difficult. So it would be best for you and for your business to hire someone to do track and tracing, to collect bill of ladings, right, proof of deliveries, and submit those. Or lately, of course, with AI, you can do it through AI, and you can hire a carrier compliance team, someone who will of course cover your lots, very important, so you can go and get new business, guys. Never stop getting new business. And I am always talking about the ways getting business. There is email marketing, there is LinkedIn, there is calling, there is knocking the doors. There is so many ways that you can find customers, and of course every way requires patience, it requires persistency, consistency, right? Very important. But nothing happens overnight, and if you are starting as a freight broker making, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, and you want to make 50, 70, 100K a month, that is very possible. All you have to do is stay in the game for a long time, maintain these relationships you have, and of course building new ones every day through your branding in LinkedIn, visitation, as I said, emails, calls, creative methods of marketing, right? There is so many ways that you can stand out and build this relationship, make them fun, make them laugh, send them lunch. There is so many different ways that you can do. Just try whatever works for you, whatever is good for your budget, but never get out of the game and think that this is not working, because it is actually working. And the reality is, it's not gonna be all the time stable. It will be ups and downs. It will be months that is gonna be really good, and it will be slow months. So the point is to stay in the game long enough so you can survive and you can reap the benefits of the struggles you have been going through. And as I said, trying to never stop building these relationships. And another thing I figured it out during this process is, of course, carrier relationship, right, guys? These projects that I got, I already had few carriers that I have done similar loads from Ohio, so I had already established relationships with them. And I think without these amazing carriers that helped me to move this project, I wouldn't, of course, be this successful, because carriers, of course, they are amazing, and I love working with the same carriers, right? I love using the same dispatchers, the same carriers, because it's easier to send rate confirmation. You already have the driver information, everything is easier. So if you are having like a project, multiple good projects using similar carriers, the same carriers, as much as you can, it gives you predictability, how much is gonna be your profit, right? Profit margins. It's gonna also make your life easier because you're dealing with the same dispatcher, with the same drivers, and of course you become friends with them, you build this nice relationship with them, and of course you have gaining trust with the customers, because these carriers that you already trust, that are doing amazing job, right? They are representation of you as a freight broker. If you have bad carriers who are doing bad stuff, when they are going to get loaded or unloaded, of course that's your reputation, right? So when you have already good carriers, that's also your reputation. They are representing you, and if the customer happy with the carriers, that they are on time for the pickup, on time for the delivery, submitting the paperwork on time, also being responsive, right? Being cooperative. There are customers that, for example, don't want the freight be tapped in their facility because they are very busy and they don't even have enough space for all of these trucks. So they always ask the drivers to tarp outside the facility, just being cooperative, right? And following the instructions. So if you find these amazing carriers, of course, this is great for you because this is your name, your reputation, right? They're gonna know, okay, Lida has great carriers, Lida has this carrier relationship, so let me give her more projects, and it's gonna happen the same for you. And of course, as I said, having both sides, right, on mind, being fair to the customer, and of course trying to be fair to the carrier to pay them in a way that they will be happy to do repeated business for you, right? Not just one-time load, because if you get like these consistent lanes and you are underpaying them and they are not happy with the load, they are not happy with their rate, and they are not happy the way you treat them, of course they're not gonna take your load another time. So being nice, being fair, being responsive, right, being helpful, and doing all of the things that you are supposed to do as a freight broker will also help you to get to that point that you can cover the freight that you have in a consistent basis, right? Easy, because imagine if you have like 30, 50 loads a day and you have like 2-3 employees, maybe it's hard to answer all of these calls. But if you already have established carriers, all they have to do is say, hey Lida, I will have like 3 trucks on Monday, right? So now all you have to do, check the driver names and driver phone numbers, which you already have, I'm sure. You're just checking which drivers are those, and then just send the rate confirmation, request a pickup appointment, request a delivery appointment. Your assistant can do it, right? And all you have to do is just get the project, get these rate confirmations to carriers, and just rinse and repeat. So again, guys, I want to highlight this. I don't want you to get disappointed and to get frustrated, because in order for you to stay profitable and to grow your profit, right, profitability and book a business, you have to stay in this game for a long time. You cannot just try it for 6 months and then quit and say it doesn't work. Of course, I understand that you might have bills, that's why you don't quit and with $0 and start freight brokering, right? You have to have some type of saving or part-time job, or you have to work during the day and drive Uber or whatever it takes that you have to do to get this going. But once it is starting to make money, 10, 15, 20K, now you can already hire people, you can continue bringing more business and bringing and growing the book of business that you already have. So again, very important that you guys don't get disappointed and don't get discouraged if it is not working in a few months, because I don't remember if I have mentioned, but I started to move freight after 5, I think even 6 months of continuous prospecting. I was prospecting during the weekend, guys. It was not like, oh wow, let me call and then I got the customer. No, it took me a lot of consistency. I was maybe looking awkward because I was new. I was not sure what I'm doing, right? The emails I sent, the way I was talking, and everything just was new. Like they can see that you are newbie, but still you keep going, you keep improving, you become better every day, right? And you do your best to service the customers the best way possible, and then they're gonna see your hard work, right? The right customers, they will see your hard work and they will appreciate it, and the wrong ones, you can just fire them. We don't want to work with the wrong ones. But the point is, you guys cannot get disappointed and cannot say, hey, it's not working after a few months of trying. You have to stay in this game for a long time, because relationships takes time, projects takes time. Today they might not have anything going on. In 2-3 months they might have big project going on. So if you're staying in touch, if you are maintaining these relationships, right, if you are doing whatever you are supposed to do, then you're gonna be the first person that they reach out when the opportunity comes. So keep this in mind. Also, I feel like a lot of brokers, especially newbies, and I was one of them, I'm not pointing this anyone, I was one of them. We as a new freight brokers, we don't understand, right? Many brokers they don't understand how this shipping works, right? They think that these shippers have loads every day, which is not true. Some days they will have many, some days they will not have any, right? They think that it is every day is something going on. No, some days they are also slow. It is also business, right? And as you know, business is never like stable. Some days it's good, busy, some days it's not busy. So you have to understand how this operation works, so you can calm your nerves and know that maybe today they're busy, or maybe today they don't have anything going on, so I'm gonna patiently wait and hope for the best. So guys, this is what I wanted to share with you. I'm almost here. I came to do my skincare appointment. I'm in Florida, and as you know, sun gives a lot of damage to the skin in Florida because it is most of the days are sunny. So I'm gonna take care of my skin and then go back to work. And if you guys have any questions, please comment below and tell me what you think, what process you are in. Are you a newbie? Are you trying to grow from 10K to 50K, from 50K to 100K? I would love to see who are my viewers, and I would love to stay in touch and know your opinion. And as always, please support my channel. It's very difficult to cover a lot, grow business, and at the same time do social media, so I would appreciate any support, comment, like, share to my channel, and of course subscribe. I think I got 2,500 subscribers already, so I'm very excited. It's not a lot, but still it's good. I'm happy. I appreciate every and each of you, and keep watching, keep supporting me, and I'm gonna share with you all of the golden nuggets to get business going and to grow your book of business as a freight broker or owner operator or trucking company owner. No matter what, you need direct shippers, so this is what I'm gonna show you. See you. Bye.